Hey everyone, this is the this is my review. This is the intro to my reviews of the television sitcom episodes of Sydney to the Max, Cooper and Cammy as the World. This is my review of two of their most recent episodes. This is also the first in a new series of videos I'm going to be doing. When it comes to new premieres on Disney Channel, since I'm a huge fan and huge watcher of the brand new late 2010s and 2020s Disney Channel, I decided to whenever my favorite shows or Disney Channel movies have a new premiere, I'm gonna do first a live post post episode or post film reaction and review. Then later in the future, my stereotypical audio narration reviews. Then of course in the future, the video commentary based reviews. But this is the live action review of Sydney to the of episodes 18 and 19 of Sydney to the Max. 18 premiered 2 weeks ago, which was the episode with Olive's brothers and the Alley Fighters video game. The Then you had episode 19, which was yesterday. I just got done watching the hour long. I just got done watching the third encore presentation of the show today, of that episode today. There will be a fourth one tomorrow. What's his name? Then you have the Cooper and Cammy As the World episodes. You have the last one, Would You Rather Be Ragnar's, which was okay. Wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad either. Then you had episode Would You Rather Date Someone Else, which was for the most part good up until the finale of the final scene of the episode, which I'm going to talk about in part two of that video. So, with that being said, let's get started right now. Oh, you can. Yeah. All right. This is the second part of my Sydney to the Max episode review. This is the first episode. This is episode 18, which was the weekend, I think before last weekend. I meant to do it then, but I just never got around to doing it. Well, here's this episode now. This was a phenomenal episode of Sydney to the Max. In this episode, we got more development on the Olive character, and got to learn more about what her life was like at home. Throughout the series, you hear running gags describing her family, particularly her brothers, and mostly her mother. Her mother was in the Rock the Float episode. But yeah, other than that, you didn't really get to see much of Olive's life. Finally, here you get to see Olive's life, and you see how terrible her life is at terrible her life is at home. Her brothers Rusty and Rusty. I think the other one's name is Josh. Yeah, not gonna look it up. I think that's his name, Rusty and Josh. Anyway, they exclude her from everything. They exclude her from everything. They don't allow her to do anything with them, and don't even allow her don't even allow her in their room. The only thing they do not exclude her from is pranking, bullying, and being picked on. That's the only thing they don't exclude her from one time. Oh, in this, the episode starts off with Max and with Sydney and Olive leaving something. I can't remember what it was. Leaving something in their room. And the brothers aren't there because they're in detention for, as Olive comically put it, for turning the teacher's car into an aquarium while, of course, he was in it. The brothers ended up getting after Olive and Max find what they're looking for, they stumble across a Street Fighter, a World of Warcraft, Tekken, and Pit Fighter, Streets of Rage, King of Fighters video game parody called Alley Fighters, and start playing. Josh and Rusty return from detention early because of, as they comically put it, the teacher got sick of them and just sent them home, and they make a joke telling them to get out. He says, "I hear what you're talking, but I don't hear what you're walking." Olive prepares to suck it up and leave, but Sydney convinces Olive to stand up to her brothers, so they come up with a wager that if Olive and Sydney if Olive and Sydney beat them at Alley Fighters, I think the brothers have to include. Oh yeah, Olive gets the garage, their room. If the brothers win, Olive can never set foot in there again, and I think she has to do their chores, something like that. I don't remember what the other terms of the bet was. Well, anyway, throughout the episode, in Sydney's and Olive's plot, they train for the competition by first trying to play Max's old Sega Genesis video game console, but it turns out it's rusty, defective, and doesn't work anymore. So then, and throughout the episode, several mishaps keep happening to it. The first time he gets it on, it's a different language. The first time he turns it on, there are no problems. Then it just randomly stops. The second time he gets it on, it's a random language instead of English. The third time he gets it on, the machine explodes and catches on fire. Meanwhile, so then they move to Max's mother's place. Her grandmother, who was a secret Alley Fighters player, and as revealed in the 1992 flashback plot of this episode, actually beat Max in a certain video game. In the 1992 plot of this series, Max and Leo are at their jobs at the arcade, and Max is the king of the arcade, beating everyone up until his mom steps up and beats him. Max then goes in a funk and starts losing to everyone, including the character Bucky. Yeah, that's how bad it gets for Max. Leo, in order to get Max out of his funk, comes up with a plan for Max's mother to throw a game of the boat racing game or gun. I can't remember what arcade game they were playing. So Max can get his funk. Funk and confidence back. Meanwhile, back in Sydney's plot, they learn not only how to play the Alley Fighters game, they learn the element of trash talk, how to psych out your opponent, to ensure victory. It is here where Sydney takes a trip to Olive's brother's garage and room alone, and we get to learn more about Olive's brother. Throughout the episode, these two were unlikable, but you later learn they act this way because Olive gets everything. She gets her own clothes, whereas Whereas the brothers got to get hand-me-downs, got to get hand-me-downs, and the garage was the only place they knew, the only place they had. Even the big screen TV, they had to get this by putting their allowance on, and there's a shock every time. I think it was either, I don't remember which one it was. It was either Rusty or Josh, but one of them always gets shocked and gets hurt as he comically turns on the television and questions, why does he always have to turn on why does he have to turn on the television? Turn on the television. It is here where Sydney tries to convince Olive to call off the bet and try to understand her brothers and come to an agreement. But Olive doesn't want to hear it and is so fixed on beating them, so fixed on beating them. Sydney once again tries again, but they comically look at her with disgust, telling her to start the damn game. She starts the game. They start the game after after 3 rounds of fight. After 3 rounds of fighting, Olive wins. Olive wins, and the brothers leave. Sydney criticizes Olive, saying that, oh, your relationship's gonna get even worse with them now because you just took the only thing they had left. The only thing they have, it would just be you and here alone. And then Sydney manages to talk some sense into Olive, and it turns out the brothers had nowhere to go. They were in the hallway listening to the conversation all along, and the brothers gave Olive her terms, and Olive said she just wants to be included in all their activities, and the episode comically ends with the brothers squishing Olive in between them, and and well, this plot ends with them all playing video games. Meanwhile, back in Max's plot, Max plays his mother. They trash talk each other, much to Max's mother's surprise. Max actually turns around and beats his mother, thus regaining his confidence and regaining his title as King of the Gamers back. Meanwhile, he then asks, who wants to challenge me now? The character of Bucky once again steps up and challenges them, and then they all comically reply, not you, Bucky. Then it gets then in the next episode, then back in the main plot, the episode comically ends with Max discovering his mother's hidden console in Alley Fighter's game and her secret playthroughs with her daughters, and they all play a three-player game. They all play a three-player game with each other, and that's how the episode is. Like I said, an awesome episode of Sydney to the max. There were lots of funny moments. We got more development on the Olive-based character. Like I said, throughout the series, you just kept hearing gags. Kept hearing gags about her parents, but you didn't really see any of them except for her mother, who appeared in the Rock the Float episode. Here you got to see what Olive's life was like. So yeah, this was another awesome episode of Sydney to the Max. I thought this new episode right here was much better than the most recent one that premiered yesterday. So with that being said, I'm finished for now.
Excuse me, sir. Are we lost?
Hey everyone, this is part 2 of my To the Max videos. This is my review of the second newest episode, which just premiered yesterday. This is my I just finished watching the third encore presentation of that episode minutes earlier. Now Upside Down Magic is on, and that will be reviewed next when these two videos are finished right here. But yes, like I said in part 1, this is the first part of a brand new series where when it comes to newer premieres of shows and movies I like on the Disney Channel, since I'm like a super huge fan of the current era, the late 2010s era of Disney Channel, when it comes to new episodes of my favorite shows, I'm going to do a live, full-on webcam review, webcam post reactions review. Then sometime in the future, I will do the video commentary reviews of the episodes I like, which I've been talking about for a long time, and I'm still recording. We're still studying and recording footage so I get the right footage. So with that being said, let's get started right now. This was a great episode of this was another great episode of Sydney to the Max. I only have a couple of problems with the episode, but let's start off with the positives. The positive, both the present day plot and the past, the 1992 Max's Leo and their grandmother and their mothers and Max's mother's plot was great, but yeah, the only problem I had was the two plots in this episode had nothing to do with each other. Let's start off with the present day plot. The present day plot has Sydney's best friend Harry briefly moving visiting Oregon and briefly considering moving back to Oregon up until the end of the episode where it's revealed that their mother's new job who they were counting on fell through, so they were forced to move back to wherever it is they came from. They came from. Well, anyway, this episode, Harry and Sydney catch up, and both develop feelings for each other. Both develop feelings for each other, but try to avoid each other. Harry tries to avoid Sydney because he doesn't want to kiss. He doesn't want to kiss Sydney, but that be the last time he sees her, and then go on hating her. Then Sydney just thinks it's wrong and weird to crush on your best, the crush on what is your best friend, because Harry throughout this episode was built as Olive before Olive Olive. Also in the subplot involving the dad, involving Max and Harry's dad. Max's dad used to be this slob who liked baseball, monster trucks, eating hot dog and eating competition and belching really loud to the dismay of Max's mother and of course the well-mannered Olive. So since he moved to Europe, since he moved to Europe, he had to adopt a new accent and a new style of dress, table manners, table and a new personality to fit in with the people there, and briefly gave up all of the monster trucks, baseball and the hot dogs in favor of fancy dinners and a new game called in the game called cricket. Um, cricket. Max doesn't believe it and doesn't want to accept it and refuses to believe that the old Ram Man is gone and that he's in there. However, however, likes the new Harry's new father Randall new personality. So yeah, that's the main plot. Then towards the end of the episode, when it comes to that plot, the Harry guy is watching a monster truck competition. I mean, the Randall guy is watching a monster truck competition and pretends to be not interested in it, but when the monster truck crashes into another monster truck, he reacts with excitement. He can't contain himself. And it's here that Max has realized and is happy and is overjoyed that the old Ram Man is back. And he gives a loud belch, much to the dismay of once again Olive and Max's mother, who liked the new Ram Man. So then back in the Sid's plot, Sid looks into his eyes and develops feelings for him and tries to kiss him, but Harry thinks she's talking about something else. So she accidentally trips. She accidentally trips, and this happens twice, especially at the end when they make up and they try to signature handshake. Once again, he thinks she's trying to go for a hug. He thinks she's talking about a handshake, and she falls over again, and what you call leaves, but not before promising to keep in touch this time, keep in touch this time. So yeah, let's go to the B plot. I love the B plot, but it had nothing to do with the A plot. The B plot featured Leo, Max's friend, getting walkie-talkies for himself and Max, and both of them, both of them overhear the next door's that both of them overhear some alien language. Some people talking like aliens on the walkie talkies. And of course, at first they think it's their mother pulling their leg, but then when they see her doing her daily activities and paying them no mind, they start worrying and panicking. They start worrying and panicking. Then the episode comically ends when the next door neighbor, I keep forgetting her name, an Asian woman, comes over, introducing herself and thanking Max's mother for a great for welcoming into the neighborhood and a great feast. Great feast. It is here. They first think she's the alien, but Max's mother convinces them, no, that's not the that's not the aliens. That's our new next door neighbors. And then it turns out it was the next door's neighbors. It was her husband all along. It was her. It was them watching a science fiction show that happens at 8 o'clock, which is right around the time Max and Leo started hearing alien language, and he was imitating that, and Max thought it was real. Then the mother laughs at Max up until she hears a recording of the husband insulting her meatloaf, or well, I keep forgetting what it was. Her meatloaf or potato salad. I can't remember what kind of dish, what you call it, made. What kind of dish the mother made. But he said to tell her never accept food from her again. That was the worst dish he had ever had. And both Max and Leo laugh. And that's how that plot ends. Like I said, another great episode. The only problem was the 1992 plot. The 90s plot had nothing to do with what's his name. What did walkie-talkies, aliens? What did walkie-talkies and aliens have to do with what you call his friend, Sydney's friend Harry coming back? And why didn't the rando guy? Why didn't the 90s version of him appear in this episode? But other than that, another great episode of Sydney to the max. You don't want to hear the rest of the music. Turn the video off right now.
Proceed.
Hey, bro. What's your name? Banjo.
Banjo. Banjo. Hey, Banjo.